Hello guys, I am here today at the Riverside Plaza with Samые, and we are extremely delighted to launch our collaboration where the Riverside Plaza and Corsair are now working together in order to recycle the plastic waste from the plaza and the plaza tenants, which is generated on a daily basis. I want to thank you, Samые, very much for you and for your team and this great opportunity for us to work together. Thank you very much.
สวัสดีค่ะดิฉันสาวนีนะคะเป็นผู้จัดการทั่วไปศูนย์การค้า Riverside Plaza วันนี้อยากจะมาแนะนำศูนย์การค้าให้ทุกคนได้รู้จักนะคะคือศูนย์การค้า Riverside Plaza ของเราตั้งอยู่ในย่านฝั่งธนบุรีนะคะติดกับโรงแรมอนันทราและโรงแรมอาวานี Riverside เราเป็นบริษัทในเครือของ Minor International นะคะศูนย์การค้า Riverside ของเราเนี่ยจะเป็นแหล่งที่รวบรวมร้านอาหารที่มีชื่อเสียงมากมายนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นร้านอาหารในกลุ่มของ Minor Food อย่างเช่น The Pizza Sizzler Burger King บอนชอนสเวนเซ่นนะคะและยังมีแบรนด์ในเครืออื่นๆอีกครบแทบทุกแบรนด์นะคะแล้วก็ยังมีร้านอาหารชื่อดังอื่นๆที่เป็นพันธมิตรกับเราอย่าง MK S&P Starbucks ยาโยอิแล้วก็ยังมีแบรนด์ไฮไลท์ที่เป็นร้านอาหารในโรงแรมนะคะอย่างเบเนฮาน่าและยังมีร้านที่ทุกคนจะพลาดไม่ได้เลยก็คือร้านมิชลินอย่างเย็นตาโฟในอ้วนนะคะนอกจากร้านอาหารแล้วเนี่ยเรายังจะมีร้านสินค้าที่ให้คุณได้ช้อปปิ้งอย่างเช่นร้านชาวสันคีดบอสซินี่ B2S บูธไดโซแล้วก็ยังมีร้านประเภทในกลุ่มของบริการต่างๆไม่ว่าจะเป็นร้านประเภทสถาบันเสริมความงามนะคะร้านทำผมหรือร้านในโซนธนาคารนะคะอันนี้คือความหลากหลายที่เรามีครบครันที่นี่แห่งเดียวในย่านฝั่งทนและสำหรับโครงการที่ศูนย์การค้า Riverside Plaza ของเรามีความภาคภูมิใจเพราะเราได้เป็นส่วนหนึ่งในโครงการคัดแยกขยะพลาสติกเพื่อนำไปรีไซเคิลนะคะเราได้ร่วมกับ2พันธมิตรอย่าง Corsair และโครงการพลาสติกส่งพลาสติกกลับบ้านนะคะเราและร้านค้าภายในศูนย์ทุกร้านได้ตระหนักและให้ความสำคัญในเรื่องของการคัดแยกพลาสติกในศูนย์โดยศูนย์การค้าเองเราได้จัดเตรียมถังขยะแยกประเภทเอาไว้ที่พื้นที่ภายในห้างทุกชั้นนะคะและยังจัดพื้นที่ที่ชั้น1เนี่ยเป็นพื้นที่สำหรับรับขยะพลาสติกสะอาดจากลูกค้าทีมงานของ Riverside Plaza จะรวบรวมเอาพลาสติกที่ลูกค้าจัดส่งมาเนี่ยส่งต่อไปยังพันธมิตรทั้ง2ส่วนในส่วนของพลาสติกทั้ง2ประเภทที่เราเก็บรวบรวมนะคะพลาสติกอ่อนเนี่ยทาง Corsair จะนำไปรีไซเคิลเป็นน้ำมันแล้วก็เป็นก๊าซส่วนพลาสติกชนิดแข็งเราจะส่งให้กับโครงการส่งพลาสติกกลับบ้านนะคะซึ่งทางโครงการเนี่ยจะนำเอาพลาสติกแข็งไปรีไซเคิลเป็นเม็ดพลาสติกกลับมาใช้ผลิตพลาสติกใหม่แล้วก็นำไปใช้เป็นผลิตในสิ่งของที่มันเป็นประโยชน์นะคะทางศูนย์การค้า Riverside Plaza เนี่ยเราเล็งเห็นว่าการคัดแยกขยะและโครงการนี้เนี่ยจะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในการลดขยะพลาสติกที่กำลังมีจำนวนมากในปัจจุบันนะคะและเราขอเชิญชวนนะคะลูกค้าทุกท่านให้มาร่วมกันกับเราในการคัดแยกขยะพลาสติกจากที่บ้านท่านนะคะและนำมาจัดส่งที่ Riverside Plaza ของเราเพราะการคัดแยกขยะจะเป็นการแก้ปัญหาที่ยั่งยืนและทำให้โลกเราน่าอยู่มากยิ่งขึ้นเริ่มกันนะคะเริ่มกันตั้งแต่วันนี้เพื่อโลกเราและเพื่อเราทุกๆคนขอบคุณค่ะ
The moment when the previous management handed over the accounts and the control of the company. So that being said, we have basically now been on the management seat, on the driving seat right now for about 3 months, about 90 days. So let's summarize a little bit. What have we actually achieved during that time? And then the most important thing is what are we looking to achieve during the next 90 days? Okay, so these are the topics for today. And if you have some questions which comes up during the call, or anything that you have in your mind right now, please feel free to drop it into the chat box, and we're happy to go through questions as well at the end of this call. Great. So I'll share my screen and we'll get started. Roger, just a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay, so this is a good example. I wanted to sort of walk you guys through the daily process of what happens within our Thailand operations right now. So here you can see the daily activities. So garbage comes in. This is the local garbage collection truck in the province of Sakeo, where Corsair is operating a government-owned waste management facility. So as you can see, when the garbage comes in, it is just mixed garbage. There's everything in it, all kinds of things that people throw in the garbage normally. And here in Thailand, in most cases, there is no separation processes available. So households, apartment buildings, government offices, condominium buildings, whatever, they basically just dump all the garbage into one bin. And what you are seeing us doing right now by delivering these blue Corsair bins, this actually is the first really organized recycling and waste separation program properly ever done in this country. So we're actually doing something groundbreaking with that. And here you can see the normal way of sorting garbage. Everything just goes into one big pile. So when that garbage comes in, what we do is our staff will then start loading this garbage into the conveyor belt, and here it goes into the separation system, where we then have our hardworking ladies who are separating the plastic from all the incoming waste that comes in. What we then do is we channel all the bio waste and all the other stuff into different channels, but most importantly, we pick up the plastic. And as you can see, there is a lot of it. At the moment, what we do is we are laying it down on the ground in these storage halls, and every day we then mix them up so that we get rid of the moisture. So as you know, our intention and our target is that the plastic would be as dry and as clean as possible before it enters into the machine. So what we're doing here is we're laying it down, we're drying the plastic and mixing it up every day. And there's a lot of it, as you can see. Then what we do is we pack it into these big bags, which are then being stacked and then loaded into a truck. You can see one of these bags weighs about, let's say, between 70 to maybe 90 kilos, depending on how much moisture is there. We load them up on a truck, and then this truck full of separated plastic waste gets delivered into our Bangkok facility. And there it is. Upon arrival, we might do a little bit of a last sort of prepping on it, packaging it, baling it, sorting it out a little bit. And then eventually from there, it starts to be converted into oil. Now, obviously, we get plastic from other locations as well. We still have several suppliers who are bringing us more plastic. We need it a lot on a daily basis. Here's another supplier. This is coming from another location. Another one. As you can see, there's a lot of garbage coming in. What we are doing there in Sakeo at the moment is we are right now planning for an expansion. On a daily basis, we are today able to create and collect approximately 3,000 kilos of plastic waste per day. And basically our target right now is to reach at about 5,000 kilos a day. So we are expanding the operations right now in order to be able to handle more and collect more. At the same time, we are doing in our Bangkok facility, we're doing a lot of repairing work, a lot of fixing work, a lot of improvements which are happening on a daily basis, while we are obviously doing the main operation, which is the chemical recycling. And all of these things that we're doing at the moment is done with a purpose of preparing the facility to handle more machines. So if you, and I hope you remember the history of this location, when we initially got started here, this facility was already existing. So we took over an existing facility which was unfortunately in quite a bad shape. So we have been doing a lot of renovation, a lot of fixing to get to a status where we are right now. And at the same time, we have been doing a lot of additional work so that we can facilitate more machines. When we started, the facility had a total of 2 machines. And since then, we have added 1 more machine. So now we have 3 at the moment. And we are currently preparing this facility to handle 2 more machines. So basically, this existing location will be able to handle a total of 5 machines. And then right next to it, where we have this empty piece of land, which is now being prepared to handle another 5 machines. So altogether, we will have 10 of these machines there. Now, this picture is something that I think gives a good understanding about the amount of plastic that we all create every year. So what you can see here in this truck right now, you can see approximately 25,000 kilos of plastic waste, 25 tons. Now, when you keep in mind that one person creates per year approximately 50 kilos of plastic waste, right? So that basically means that in this truck, you can right now see about 500 years of plastic waste footprint. It sounds a lot when you think about 500 years, but think about it in a way that this here is the amount of plastic garbage that 5 people create during their lifetime. Roger, how many people do we have on the call right now?
48.
Okay, let's say we got 50. All right, so think about that. You would need 10 trucks like this just to cover the plastic garbage that we, who are in this call today, generate during our lifetime. And you can see the guy standing over there on the left side of the photo to give you an impression. And this is compressed, baled plastic waste. So just to give you a bit of a rough idea how much plastic waste we actually generate during our lifetimes. So think about putting 10 trucks like this next to each other. That's the lifetime plastic waste that we only in this call generate in our lifetimes. It's crazy. So at the same time, what we're doing is we are building improvements into the facility. We are now having the facility to be ready to welcome you guys as soon as the borders are starting to open. We're having media, we're having other guests coming in. So we've been doing a lot of work also to get the facility in a status where we are happy and able to welcome people to see the actual production. And I have some news about this topic for you as well in a couple of minutes. Moving forward. So let's look at through some of the development, some of the most important steps that we have been able to achieve together as a team during the last approximately 90 days. So first of all, we have obviously launched the CSR token. This was a fundamental, very important step that we achieved. Number two, we have launched the CSR Live, our own digital currency exchange. The ones of you who are more familiar with this topic, CSR Live is a decentralized exchange, which means that it is not controlled by anybody, and it is 100% transparent and accountable. So anybody is able to verify each trade, each transaction on the blockchain. Excuse me. We have also restructured the group of companies. When Corsair took over the management of this project, we also took over about 2 years of history that came with it. And unfortunately, there was a lot of things that needed to be adjusted, that needed to be fixed, that needed to be cleaned, whatever term you want to use. And we have done that in the last 3 months. And I'm very happy to tell you that the group of companies, all the companies involved in the operation right now is now in place. And it has been structured in a proper way. And we are going to be working on this area as well. We want to be able to have all of these companies properly placed in countries and in locations where they are also no longer offshore. We want to bring them onshore. We want to put everything in a place where we are in a strong foundation for moving forward. But this is something that we have done now in the last 90 days, and we've been able to get everything properly organized. We have also launched the new packages. This was one of our biggest targets for the first steps of this project, to get rid of everything else that was there before, anything that does not belong into this concept, something that doesn't support our key core mission has been removed. So most importantly, we have now the new packages, and we have created clear and clean focus to our actual core mission, which is the cleaning of our planet from plastic waste. And now we have packages that are doing exactly that. And I'm very happy that everyone as a team have been able to push forward to reach this situation. On top of that, we have created major market credibility. And with that, I mean these companies that are now joining our mission. You just saw a video there, which was shown by Roger, where one of the largest companies here in Thailand, the Minor Group, now joined our mission and is now part of the partners who are supporting our operations. Minor Group, as it said on the video, they own over 520 hotels in 55 countries. Hotels including brands like the Marriott, the St. Regis, Four Seasons, Radisson Blu, and so on. On top of that, they have 2,300 restaurants in more than 22 countries. Restaurants like Burger King, Swenson's, the Pizza Company, and many, many other. On top of here in Thailand, they have over 400 lifestyle stores, shops selling clothes like brands like Esprit, Charles & Keith, etc., etc. One of the largest companies in Thailand. On top of that, as you've seen before, we have the Centara Hotels and Resorts, another major, massive, multi-billion euro company. They have a total of 60 hotels here in Thailand. They also own over 45 shopping centers here in Thailand alone. They are now part of our mission, and so on and so on. When I look at the top 100 companies in this country, we are currently in talks already with at least half of those companies. And you're going to see more and more international brands, international companies joining in this mission. And every time when we have one of these big brands joining, our credibility as a company just keeps on increasing, because we are now associated with some of the largest companies and organizations in Southeast Asia. And this is going to continue the same way in Europe, the same way in other parts of the world. So what are the next steps? What can you expect in the next coming 3 months? Well, first of all, there is going to be, in a matter of a couple of days, a major announcement about Corsair's European launch. This is something that we've been holding off with, trying not to leak any information of this. And so far that's been working quite well. In a couple of days, you are going to get a very, very interesting update about our European operations. And I'm 100% confident that this is going to blow you guys. It's going to blow your mind when you see what's going to happen over here. It's definitely going to be exciting to see this. And I'm really, really happy that we got things worked out in this way. You're also going to see expansion happening with the CSR Live Exchange. We have, as of today, about 250 users on the CSR Live Exchange platform. By the end of this month, I would expect there to be somewhere between 500 to 750. And next month, probably over 1,000 users. So you're seeing more and more people registering into the CSR Live. If you haven't done that already, please go there and register so you can be part of it. Also, for the ones of you who don't want to register or who haven't registered, if you just go to csr.live and on the front page, you click the button Markets, you can just click that button and you can see the markets. You can see the trading taking place without having to even register yourself. So you can just go to the website, click Markets, and you can see the trading being taken place. So you don't have to register to see the trading. But we're going to be working on this one and improving it, and there's more and more people joining into the platform every day right now. Also, you will see us expanding our operations here in Thailand. What I just showed you before, some of the waste management operations, they keep on expanding. We're bringing in more machines, we're bringing in more staff. As a company, Corsair Group today employs already over 75 people. So we're starting to be quite a large band of people. And I would say that probably in the next 3 months, we're going to have over 100 staff. And that'll be then including staff operating in Europe. So we're not exactly a small company anymore. And that has been built in such a short period of time that I think it's really impressive. So you're going to see more expansion here. Also on the waste management side of things, we are currently in talks with several other government departments similar to the operations that we have in Sakeo. And we are expecting that in the next couple of months, we'll have a few other government-owned waste management facilities under our management as well, giving us more access to plastic waste on a daily basis. Number 4, we are at the moment also started to work on improving the influencer compensation plan. And like I said from the very beginning, when we as a Corsair started developing the network marketing part, the Amplivo, was that we want to make this business as simple, as easy, as efficient, and as profitable as possible. And I think we have now been able to make it simpler. We have been able to remove all these additional things that were there before that were making it confusing. I think it's actually very simple right now. We have been able to make it easier. It's not yet as easy as I want it to be, but we're working on that still. We've been able to make it more efficient, absolutely. And we're still working on this. And the next thing is to work to make it more profitable for you. And whenever we do improvements when it comes to the compensation plan, payouts, we always look at it from the perspective that who are the people that need to be rewarded most? Well, it's the people who built this business. It's the pioneers. It's the people that have stayed with the company or who have joined during this period of building. That means all of you guys. No matter if you joined 2 years ago or you joined today, you are still considered a pioneer. And this in mind, we are now developing the compensation plan so that it would recognize and reward more the people that have been there on these early hours of our business. And that's why it's very important. I bring this topic to you just that you know that we are working on this area as well. But I want you to understand that this compensation plan in the future will reward more those people who are building right now. This is the moment to build this business. We'll talk about this in a minute as well, a little bit more. But just so you know that the developments that we're doing are there to reward the business builders, the early adopters, the pioneers, the people who are right now building this company together with all of us. Those are the people that will benefit most from all of these developments. So no matter if you are joining today or you're joining tomorrow or you joined 2 years ago, we want to recognize you as a pioneer. And that's why it's very important that we all push forward right now. Number 5, CSR awards and redemptions that will begin. We've spoken about that in the previous calls. Just a quick summary from that, meaning that next month, in the month of July, we are going to start distributing more CSR into the market. This means that if you have your FLPs, your free loyalty points, and you have placed them into the redemption, we are going to start to distribute more CSR tokens to you guys next month. And also we are going to start the first of the CSR awards for the holders of the ISF token. So this is going to begin next month. Additionally to that, in August, we are going to launch the CSR portal, which is basically a website where you can track your progress of your CSR awards and redemptions. So in other words, there will be a website where you will have your tracking numbers, and you can go in and type in your tracking number, and you can see the queue of redemptions and awards, and you can track the progress of your CSR award and redemption. So like in a post office or in the internet, you have a postal package, you send it to your friend, you have a tracking number, and you can, with that number, you can track the progress of your package. In the same way here, in this portal, you will be able to track this progress. And this will be launched in August. And then every week, there's going to be more and more CSR token distributed through these pools. Also, you are going to see the CSR merchant platform being launched. And what's great about this is that a lot of these brands and companies that we are now introducing as our mission partners, hotels, restaurants, and such, will also be joining into our CSR merchant platform. So through this very simple merchant platform that we are going to be launching, companies and brands can now start accepting CSR token as a partial payment for their products and services. And by doing this, we are creating more usability for the CSR token. And the fact that CSR tokens are 100% backed up by real physical results, meaning that no CSR tokens can be released into the environment unless a matching amount of plastic garbage is being removed from the environment. And this is the fundamental building block of our operations. Every single CSR token is backed up by real physical results of us cleaning the environment. In the same way as you would talk about, for example, Bitcoin, you would talk about proof of work, where no Bitcoin can be created unless a certain amount of computing power, electricity, and energy was used to create that Bitcoin. In the same way with CSR, before any CSR can be released into the environment, an amount of plastic waste had to be removed from the environment and recycled into oil. And this is very, very important. And because we are holding on to that, these brands want to be involved, because what happens really here, guys, is something truly amazing. I believe that you are familiar, at least with the term of carbon credits. Carbon credits is something that is traded globally. They are basically points of carbon being removed from the air, or things done in a different way where we are saving carbon without releasing it to the atmosphere. And companies that do this gain what is called carbon credits. At the same time, you have other companies who are creating a lot of carbon emissions. And through this carbon credit program, which is now globally taken into use and enforced even in some countries, companies who are creating carbon emissions will have to pay for those emissions by buying carbon credits from other companies who are removing carbon from the environment, or doing things in a way which is different from the normal, and in that way saving carbon being released. So the carbon credit is a massive multi-billion dollar, multi-billion euro structure that is already there. And I guarantee for you guys that within the next 5 years, you are going to see plastic credit created as well. What we are doing here right now with CSR is the early stage of being a plastic credit. And there is no existing plastic credit right now. And instead of doing it in an Excel sheet, like the carbon credits basically have been, I also guarantee for you that because it's something that is invented and created right now, it's going to function in a blockchain. And if we do our job really, really well, guys, also bear in mind that there is not only one carbon credit. There is several carbon credit systems. Our target is to become one of the most valuable, respected, and credible plastic credits in the world. And that is CSR token. It's documented on the blockchain. It's 100% audible, 100% accountable, 100% transparent. There is no better option than that. And like I said, you cannot release a CSR into the marketplace, into the circulation, without removing an X amount of plastic waste from the environment. And right now we're talking about plastic waste. Soon we are going to implement other functions as well, such as, for example, how much ocean plastic waste we are cleaning, how much waste we're taking away from the oceans, how much PM 2.5 emissions are we removing from the breathing air, how much carbon are we removing from the atmosphere, how much poverty are we removing from the earth, how much are we helping people. All of these things are the founding elements of the CSR token. And because of the way that we've structured everything, these global brands are so excited to start using it, because they want to be able to say, hey, we own 1 million CSR tokens. And this 1 million CSR tokens is equal to this many kilos of plastic waste removed from the landfills, this many kilos of plastic waste removed from the oceans, this many tons of CO2 removed from the atmosphere, etc., etc., etc. The brands, they want this. And that's what we are providing. And what you see, for example, right now in the trading of the CSR on the exchange, in the last couple of weeks, the trading price of CSR has been moving at somewhere around 2 to 3 euro cents per token. There's been ups, it's gone up to 4 or 5 cents even occasionally, but that's where it's moving. There's a lot of movement, fluctuation still there. But what you can also see that it's starting to, little by little, day after day, it's going to start to stabilize more and more. And I think that the market price of CSR is now starting to take place somewhere between 2 and 3 euro cents a token. And that's really good. That's really good. And what you're going to start to see is when these larger brands are coming involved, they're going to start to adapt it. They're going to start to use it. There's going to be more usability, more demand. You're going to start to see the price go up. No question about it. No question about it. So as an advice, I'm not an investment advice, by the way, but as a general advice from a friend to another, if you happen to see on the market somebody wanting to dump their CSR for 1 cent, and if I don't see it and I'm not there to buy it, which I usually would be, and I hope I would be, if you see something like that, take that opportunity. Just do that. Put a couple of euros in it and buy those tokens out from the market. If somebody's stupid enough to sell them that rate, let them have that. That's all I'm going to say about this topic. But let's come back to this conversation 12 months from now, and then we'll see where we stand. Now, we are already talking about listing CSR on several international exchanges. And right now, like I said, the trading is taking place right now only in our exchange, right? And it's there for traded by 250 people. Every day there's more people coming on board. When we start to have CSR now listed on other international exchanges, and you're going to start to bring in hundreds of thousands of users, which are coming in now to starting to speculate on what's going to happen with this token, which is backed up by real work, by real results of cleaning our planet. What do you guys think is going to happen? What do you guys think? Do you think somebody is going to find it interesting that some of these worldwide brands or restaurants and hotels are going to start using that token, are going to start investing into that token? What do you think is going to happen? Just spend a second on that thought. So as we increase demand, as we increase usability, CSR is going to become listed on more and more exchanges. And this year, we're already going to see some of these things happen. Additionally to that, we are now starting to bring in worldwide mainstream media attention. It's going to start small. It's going to start primarily from Southeast Asia. You saw in the last couple of days, we already were featured in some of the medias here in Thailand. We have a couple of TV interviews now scheduled for next week. And there's going to be more and more media attention created for Corsair, for CSR, and for Amplivo. And what we are doing right now is something that no network marketing company has ever done before. Never before has a network marketing company been featured in the way that we are now going to be featured in mainstream media. And that again is something groundbreaking. But it's possible because we are doing things in the right way. It's possible because we're doing things correctly. And it's possible because we're doing things sincerely. Because what we are doing is real. It's not a dream or a vision or some kind of a plan anymore. I mean, just look at this, what we just talked. This is in the last 90 days, guys. 90 days. How much things can we achieve in the next 90 days? In the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? We're just getting started. And now we are ready to go out in the media. We've been holding back from the media for the last few months because we weren't ready for it. Now we're ready. Now we can go out. And you're going to start to see us featured more and more in mainstream media, starting locally and then improving and increasing from that. And as a target for doing all of this, we are simply targeting, of course, cleaning up the planet, improving the conditions, but also to create and to build CSR to become a globally known and respected digital currency. CSR is the currency, is the cryptocurrency, the token that is focusing on saving the planet. And when you look at through these thousands and thousands of crypto projects, one after another, focusing on some technical solution of a transcript or this and that and this and that, most of them don't make any sense on our daily lives. They don't improve anything. They don't remove a problem. They won't solve a problem. They are there purely for the speculation. They're not backed up by anything. But still, you see many of these tokens, many of these projects having market valuations in hundreds of millions, even billions of euros. Just ask yourself the question, how is the market going to react when they properly learn about CSR? How it's backed up and who is using it? Yeah. We're looking at a pretty interesting future, guys. Most importantly, in the core center of everything that we do is to help people to become plastic neutral. Help people to clean up this amount of plastic waste that we all during our lifetimes generate. It's the other photo. And what's even the best is that anyone from anywhere around the world can now join this mission. As you know, we even have the 10 euro single product available. So starting from 10 euros up to 5,000 euros in our packages, anyone and everyone is able to join this mission, to take part on creating a better future for the future generations and cleaning up this mess that we have generated. We have created this mess ourselves. We as the humanity in the last couple of generations. And when you think about this, anyone who buys any one of these packages, the 50 euro package or the 5,000 euro package, what do you get? Number one, you get to remove actual plastic waste from the environment. You get to remove your plastic waste footprint, maybe 1 year of it or 100 years of it, depending on which size of a package you want to go for. But even with 50 euros, you are removing 250 kilos of plastic waste from the environment. 5 years of your plastic waste footprint, gone, removed, recycled. On top of that, let's say someone spends 50 euros. They receive free products and services. And on top of that, they get the equal amount, in this case 49 euros worth of CSR token. It's a no-brainer. You get to help the planet, you get some free products and services, and you get a matching amount of the CSR digital currency, where if you hold it and you don't sell it, by the way, you can go and you can sell it. But if you hold on to it and you don't sell it right away, you are probably going to be involved in a very interesting financial future. So if you ask for me, I have never in my life, being an entrepreneur for more than 20 years, I have never in my life seen a better product or a service. Something that is so emotionally driven and so real, but at the same time gives you full worth of your money. I mean, basically what happens now when the redemptions are taking place, if you spend you buy a 100 euro package, you get your CSR, you can go and sell them for 100 euros. How crazy is that? And you still keep your certificate for being plastic neutral or removing that year from your footprint. There is not a better product or a service anywhere when you take into account the good things that we can do, how we can actually develop and improve our environment, the future of our children and grandchildren, and how this planet functions. And on top of that, you get the financial benefit from it. And anybody can join. And obviously, as I said before, in the very center of all of this is the CSR token, which we are building now to become a globally identified, respected, credible digital currency while we are cleaning up the planet. Now, there's a good sort of example, which I think explains the situation where we are at the moment as a company. And if we think that we are together, all of us, we are an airplane. And as you know, when the airplane is on a runway and it starts speeding up and it starts taking off, that's the most important moment of the flight. And during that takeoff, the captain is going to inject all the energy that those engines have to make sure that the airplane takes off safely. The most energy that the airplane uses during the entire flight from one place to another is during the takeoff. And we together, all of us as a community, as a company, as a group, we are right now that airplane. And we are right now on the runway. And we're already moving. We're speeding up. And our wheels are just about to take off from the ground. But they're not yet. We're almost there. And what we need to do right now, each and every one of us, is to push forward with as much energy, with as much force as we simply can, in order to make sure that we really take off. And I know we've achieved a lot of stuff in the last months, but we're not there yet. And I know that it's sunshine in Europe as well. Actually, it's raining here in Bangkok right now, so we're happy to be indoors. But I know that the summer is there. And I know that there's a lot of things happening and the borders are opening, and I'm really enjoying that. But at the same time, we need to remember that if we really want this to work out, we cannot slow down. We cannot take a holiday right now. And what's the best part of this business is you can do this while you're having a holiday. But we need to be continuing to work every day on this. And we've done some great weeks in the last couple of months. We've done some great months, and there's really a lot of progress that is happening. And because of this teamwork of all of us pushing together, we've been able to achieve these things. So the credit and the awards and the rewards, everything that we're doing right now goes to all of you guys. All of us as a community have achieved what we have together. But it's so important to know and to understand that now is the moment to push. We cannot take a rest right now. We have to push forward as much as we can to make sure that we really take off safely, and then we can fly to our destination. And as you can see from the crazy hours that I'm doing calls here, I'm here doing calls with you guys at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock at night. And I promise to you that I'm not taking a rest. I'm not taking a holiday. I'm not sleeping before we get to our destination from this. And that one you can see from the bags under my eyes that have been growing alarmingly in the last 90 days. But this is the moment to do it, guys. Because the timing and the moment and this situation we have right now is a once in a lifetime opportunity for each and one of us. We are in this moment in the middle of global revolutions in green business, in environmental aspects, in the financial aspects, and we are in the center of it. There has never ever been this huge opportunity in any one of our lives before. I guarantee you that. And like I said before, this company is going to be owned by the people who build it. We are going to make this company a multi-billion euro business. And we are going to make the CSR as a valuable international digital currency. And when you look back 12 months or 24 months or 3 years or 5 years or 10 years from now, when you look back to this moment, this summer of 2021, I really hope that you will be able to say to yourself, thank God I put in that effort at that time. This is the moment, guys. And we need to keep on pushing forward, all of us together. And when we do that, we are all in the winning team. We are in this together. And the people, the pioneers who are right now pushing this forward, all of you guys that are involved in building this business are going to benefit greatly. And we're not going to stop before we win. It's not over before we win. Okay. Good. So we keep on pushing, guys. Let's look through some of the questions. Okay, there was a question. what is currently being done with the pyrolysis oil that is being generated. So the oil that is generated right now is at the moment being sold locally here in Thailand. Most of that oil is at the moment going for oil refineries. They are using that oil to mix it together with their traditional diesel and gasoline production. We are at this moment in talks with pretty much every single large petrochemical plastic manufacturing company around the world. And our target is that as quickly as possible, we want 100% of all of our oil to be used for plastic industry. Why is that? In the past, you have obviously heard that we can make fuels out of this plastic waste, and that's great. It's a better solution to take a plastic bag, make it into oil, and then make that oil into diesel or gasoline. It's a better solution to do that than take the plastic and throw it into the landfill. But unfortunately, when we make the oil and we use it into gas or fuel or diesel, it's not proper recycling. Because what happens is that you take the plastic waste, you make it into oil, you make it into diesel, and then it's burned, it's gone. So instead, what we want to focus on is that we take the old plastic bag, we make it into oil, and now that oil can be used to make a new plastic bag. And this is the proper recycling structure. This is the cycle. And when we do it in this way, we are automatically, first of all, we are using the resources that are already here. We are cleaning up the environment by recycling the energy and the raw material we already have. And at the same time, we are reducing the need for bringing in more new oil from the ground to make these plastic products, which are being at the moment. And this is something that we've been working in the last few months a lot, and I'm very confident that we're going to be seeing some announcements on this field coming soon as well. So as a main target, we want to sell our oil globally towards the plastic manufacturing industry. Also, as you have seen, the oil prices have grown a lot, increased a lot over the last 12 months. I think I said it approximately a year ago. I say that that's a good time to invest into oil. That was around the time when globally oil barrels were selling for around $35 per barrel. Right now it's trading at about $70 a barrel, so it's doubled since then. The ones of you who bought oil at that time, good for you. Well, I can tell you right now, as another prediction, I can look here from my crystal ball, that I don't think this oil race is over. I think we are going to see, as I said before, we are going to see the highest oil price in the last 20-30 years in this cycle. There's already speculations by Goldman Sachs, some of these big investment firms. They are already speculating that we're going to see between $100 and $200 a barrel. And it makes total sense. It makes total sense. When more borders are opening up right now, people are moving more, airplanes are going to start flying more, there's going to be more demand for the oil. And over the last 18 months, since this COVID crash really started, oil production globally has been shut down. The oil production on a daily basis has been reduced so much because the demand dropped at that moment when borders were shut and airplanes were grounded and so on. So now when everything is coming back online, these oil companies are not able to switch on their oil production this quickly. This means that there's going to be more demand than there is supply. And that's going to peak the oil price. So another prediction just to put it out there, I believe that the oil price is going to continue to grow. And this is fantastic. You know, it was so great 1 year ago when we were basically going around here in Thailand and buying these oil making machines, and people were thinking we're crazy. So why would you want to get into the oil industry now? It's the worst moment in the last 30 years. I said, exactly. That's when you want to get in. You don't buy at the top and sell at the bottom, guys. You buy at the bottom and you sell at the top. That's how you make money. And also, you don't panic sell when the markets adjust a little bit. That's another important lesson here today. So keep on holding whatever you're holding. All right. Next question. But it's definitely a great time to be in the oil business. That I can tell you.
Jay, the barrel prices actually peaked at around about $73 yesterday.
Fantastic. Roger, you keep on delivering great news. Thank you for that.
It's all good news.
There you
we
go.
only like good news. We don't like bad.
And it's not slowing down, guys. That I can tell you.
Very much so. But everyone can see it at the pump prices. They're all creeping up again.
Yeah, there is that negative thing to it. But at least what you can think about is that as long as you are involved in our business, I said that before to a friend of mine as well, that you know, when the gasoline prices are going, that I've actually never in my life been happy to see that the gasoline prices are going up when you drive by. Oh, great, it's going up. Yeah, so there is something positive to this one. As long as you are in this industry, as long as you are with us in this company and this community, that's a very, very good news when the oil price is going up, because that brings that the more the oil price goes up, the more also demand there is going to be for CSR. So the ones of you who didn't already realize that, the more oil price goes up, the better it is for CSR. It's that simple. Yes, so when you come to Thailand, there are definitely going to be hotels where you can pay partially or fully with CSR. There's going to be announcements on this. Not only hotels, you can also use it in other places. We're going to talk about this shortly. Another question, will there be a new payment solution in future instead of Mountain Wolf and crypto to make it easier for the new ones to who joins? For example, bank transfer. Yes, absolutely. We are working on these. We are developing, and like I mentioned earlier in the call, we're doing a lot of, and we've been doing a lot of structuring of these companies, and that's exactly the reason why. We want to be able to have all of these normal functions that you would imagine from any company, such as bank transfers. And in the past, the previous management were basically running away from taxes. They wanted to avoid us paying taxes in any way as possible. And you know, yeah, it depends on what kind of business you're running, if it's a good or bad thing. I'm not saying that you should pay more taxes than you need to, but when the previous management was trying to run away from taxes, we're actually wanting to pay taxes. And the reason for this is that when we are looking at building a global company, we're looking at building a multi-billion euro company, which is going to be listed on the stock market. And all of you pioneers who are involved are going to be stockholders on that company. You are going to be shareholders on that. And the more we work together right now, the more effort and input you put in, the more shares you're going to own from that company. And when we are in that level, a publicly traded company listed on stock exchange, people are going to be interested. They are going to look, how are these businesses run? And at that point, we don't want to appear that we are hiding somewhere in tax havens and avoiding taxes. No. We want to be doing it from the first steps when we started. We want to be able to show that, yes, all of our companies are properly accounted for. they are audited, and we are paying taxes. And we don't have to pay more than what we need to pay. That's called charity, and that's because that's what we have the Corsair Foundation for. We rather, whenever we want to pay more, we want to control that money. We don't want to give it for the government people to do what they think the best. We want to do what we think is the best. And that's why we will allocate a part of all the profits that we make into the Corsair Foundation, which is then going to support the people in extreme poverty, the people in need, people who need housing, food, clothing, schools, clinics, hospitals, etc. That's the charity part. But we are bringing in these companies, and Corsair is obviously already registered. We are in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, and we are here in Bangkok, Thailand. But Amplivo as well will soon be registered in onshore, so to say. So it will be registered as a company, and it will start paying taxes. And usually at that moment, you will also be able to open up bank accounts. Why not? We are a properly established company, and we can show what we're doing. Our products and packages are done. We have legal statements from European lawyers who check through the packages. We wanted, before we launched the packages, we asked them to look through the legality of our business model and the packages, so that when we are, and when you guys are marketing these packages, this plastic waste removal service in Europe, that we are 100% legal. They came back to us with a statement saying that this is one of the biggest law firms in the Netherlands. They said that not only is it legal, they also love the concept. So that says to you quite a lot, I believe. There was another question, what will become of the Sorsium token? Well, this is obviously something that doesn't necessarily concern any of you new people. This is part of the cleaning operation from the past. And the Sorsium token, the SUM, we don't have any control. We don't have the token, by the way. Because when we took over Cloud Horizon, we took over ISF, which was issued by Cloud Horizon. And the SUM token, the Sorsium token, is owned by the owners of Sorsium, which is basically some of the old founders that are there. And ultimately, the answer would be, and I could easily say it's none of our business, because it is none of our business. Corsair or even Amplivo never had anything to really do with that token. And I'm saying this in regards to also the previous management, but especially the Corsair had absolutely nothing to do with that. But we're not that kind of people. There are people who will simply say, none of my problem, none of my business, I don't care. But we instead, we like to be the people who said, okay, we didn't create that problem, but we're going to solve that problem. And we already have a solution for the SUM token as well. We're going to introduce it for you guys probably in the next few months. But there is a solution how we can actually take care of that. Again, I don't have a single SUM token. Corsair doesn't have a single SUM token. We don't have any control of that token or that blockchain. We have absolutely nothing to do with it. But I do know that there is a great amount of members in our community who have that. And that being the only reason, we are going to fix that problem as well. Even if we're not obligated, we don't have to, we don't need to, but we will. Just because that's the right way to do. And I hope that by doing that, we can show you guys another physical result and example of how we like to do business. Even if we don't create the problem, we can solve it. All right. When will the new compensation plan be active? That was another question. Probably, I would say within the next 2 months. But please take this with a very serious note. The new compensation plan is not something that you got to sit now and wait for. What the changes that we're going to do are going to support and reward the people who are moving now. When you see those improvements happening on the compensation plan, you're going to look back and you're going to think, why didn't I act more and faster? Because that's what it's going to support. It's going to support the builders of the business. And when those improvements are taking place, you want to have as large organization as an influencer as possible. That I can tell you. So use this time right now. There's nothing wrong in an existing compensation plan, but we know that we can make it better. And if there's any aspect in our business that we know that we can make better, we're not going to finish that. We're not going to stop working on it. We will improve it. We will work on it. We will develop it until it reaches to a moment where we can say, okay, now it's really good. And we're not afraid to go back and start working it again if we can improve it. It's a constant process of improving things. And that's what you're going to see. And that's how we keep on moving forward. Good. I don't see any more questions in there. I've been here. I think we've been here now for an hour and 15 minutes. We've taken a lot of your valuable time on your Sunday. I want to thank you guys one more time. This has been a really interesting last few months, and I know it's going to be a super next few months. And I'm hoping to do a similar summary with you guys another 90 days from now, so we can look back and we can see how much more we've achieved together. So thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us here today, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks a lot. Thank you to you and the team. Thank you for everyone that's on the call today, and we'll see you again next week. Just remember, there's several business presentations in the week, so we'll see you in the week. So take care and see you all soon. Thank you. And once again, thank you very much, Jay.